Charlie Kirk proves to an atheist that there is a God?
Hey, Charlie. I've been watching your videos for a long time. Been a big fan of yours. I turned conservative in about 2016 with Trump's first run. I've always also been a devout atheist. I find the Bible to be a very fictitious book. I find it has a lot of contradictions. So I'm just want to know, how can we get more people of different faiths to come to the conservative movement? And
let's start with the idea of atheism, if that's okay.
Sure.
I'm going to go through all of the arguments for God's existence.
Okay.
I want you to tell me if you've heard them before or if they are compelling. First is what's called the ontological argument for God, which ontos comes from the Greek. It's the Greek word for being. So the highest conception of human beings, we can only conceptualize that which is real. And so the high combined wisdom is God. The second of which is called the cosmological view of God, coming from the Greek word cosmos, which means all-encompassing creation.
Sure.
If you look around with creation, there are 15 fine-tuned measurements that if anyone went off by a micron, our entire existence would not exist. The tilt of the earth, our proximity to the sun, our configuration of oxygen to carbon dioxide. In fact, we can look at the probability of our existence. It's 1 in multiple trillions that all of this would come together at an exact time, let alone consciousness, let alone human beings, let alone our DNA. Then there is what's called the teleological argument for God. That comes from the Greek word telos, which means goal, destination, or purpose. This here goes to an argument that for every effect there must be a cause. So for example, we can agree that space, time, and matter exists. We agree.
Yes.
Therefore, definitionally, something that is outside of space, time, and matter must have made space, time, and matter exist. Then there's what's called the column proof of time. Thanks to Albert Einstein, we know that time is actually a real thing that can be traversed with enough speed. And in order for time to exist, something timeless must have created it. Finally, there's something called the axiological view of God. I don't know if you know this one. Axios comes from the Greek word judgment, which basically means that every human being has some form of right and wrong embedded in us, saying that every one of us had some good or evil within us.